It's funny how fast people you thought you could count on will turn against you. How they'll look you dead in the eye and tell you you're selfish. Because you dared to stand up for yourself. Because you asked for what's yours. That's what happened to me over a $300 Nintendo Switch. And a 4-year-old who, well, let me tell you everything. I've always been the good one, the quiet one. The one who got good grades, stayed out of trouble, never raised my voice. The one who mom could rely on. The one who never gave her problems. That was my whole identity. Meanwhile, my brother Tom has always been the screw-up. It started when he was 15. He'd cut class, steal beer from gas stations, get into fights at school. Mom cried about him a lot back then. She'd lock herself in her room at night and cry, and I'd hear her through the walls. Sometimes I'd sit outside her door with a glass of water, hoping she'd come out and see me sitting there. She never did. When I was 12, he moved out, said he couldn't live under her rules anymore. He got a girlfriend, got her pregnant at 19, moved into a crappy apartment and dropped out of his job at a car wash. But somehow, in mom's eyes, he was still her baby. And I was just me. I guess what I'm saying is, I've been invisible my whole life. So when I finally saved up enough money, babysitting, cleaning houses, summer jobs, to buy myself something just for me, it felt huge. That Switch wasn't just a piece of plastic and wires, it was something I earned. It was hours of turning down coffee runs with my friends, of wearing old shoes just a little longer, of sacrificing every little thing so I could finally have something that was mine, and for 1 week, it actually felt like I existed. I'd come home from school, collapse on the couch, and play Animal Crossing for hours, just happy. For once, no one could take that from me. Or so I thought. It was a Saturday when it happened. I was home alone, or so I thought. I just hopped in the shower when I heard the door open and voices. My brother, his girlfriend, their kid. Now, here's the thing about that kid. I love kids, okay, I really do. But this one, he's not like other kids. He screams when he doesn't get his way, bites people, breaks things on purpose. At Thanksgiving last year, he took mom's phone and threw it in her mashed potatoes, and everyone just laughed. That's just how kids are, they said. No, that's not how kids are. That's how you made him. Anyway, I heard screaming. While I was in the shower, that high-pitched, glass-shattering kind of screaming that makes your stomach hurt. But I didn't think much of it. He always screams. When I stepped out, my heart sank. My Switch was sitting on my bed this morning. But when I walked into the living room, there it was, cracked, bent, destroyed. Tom was sitting on the couch, holding it like it was nothing. I stood there, dripping water onto the floor, my towel slipping, just staring. What happened? I croaked. He didn't even look at me. He wanted to play with it, he said. We told him no, but he grabbed it anyway, ran into the kitchen and dropped it, then stomped on it, like it was no big deal, like it didn't matter, like I didn't matter. I grabbed it out of his hands and ran to my room, locked the door, sat on my bed and cried. The power button didn't work. The screen was shattered. The Joy-Con wouldn't even slide back in. Something was bent. I texted Mom. She called me. Right away, furious. He did what? She yelled. Finally, someone was on my side, but when she came home, everything changed. She came into my room, sat on the edge of my bed, and sighed. Honey, she started, he's really sorry. But he doesn't have the money to pay you back right now. I just stared at her. He has a family to support, she said. You're young. You can save up again. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. He has a family because he refuses to grow up, I snapped. He sits on his ass all day playing Xbox while his girlfriend works at a taco truck, and I'm the selfish one. Her eyes flashed. Don't you talk about your brother like that, she said. And just like that, I was the bad guy. When I woke up the next day, the anger was still simmering under the surface, thick like a storm about to explode. I didn't want to be angry. I wanted to be the kid, the quiet one who keeps the peace. But how could I when everything that mattered to me was trampled on and ignored? The day was cloudy, the kind of gray sky that matches your mood perfectly. I stared out my bedroom window, watching leaves fall like little reminders that time keeps, moving even when you want it to stop. I thought about the Switch, how it wasn't just a game console, but a symbol of all my hard work, my sacrifices, and how easily it was destroyed by a kid who didn't care. My phone buzzed. It was a message from Tom. Look, I said, I'm sorry. Kids do stuff. It's not like I'm made of money. Chill. Chill? How was I supposed to chill when I lost something I worked so hard for? It wasn't just about money. It was about respect. About being treated like I mattered. I wanted to reply with something sharp, something that'd make him feel how I felt, but instead I just deleted the message. I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep fighting or just shut down. That afternoon, Mom called me into the kitchen. She was cooking dinner, but her hands trembled a little as she stirred the pot. She looked tired, older than usual. We're family, she said softly. You have to understand that sometimes you have to let things go. I swallowed the lump in my throat. Let things go. Like when he broke my Switch? She didn't answer right away. Instead, she sighed and wiped her hands on a towel. It's not about the Switch. It's about him. He's trying. He's got a lot on his plate. No, I said quietly. He's got a lot of excuses. Mom looked at me then. The eyes I'd seen so many times before, full of pain, confusion, love, and frustration. He's your brother. You should stick together. But I wanted to scream, stick together, when all I felt was invisible. When the only thing I'd gotten from him lately was destruction. That night, I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. The silence in my room felt deafening. I thought about all the times I'd been told to be patient, to be kind, to keep the peace. I thought about all the times I'd swallowed my hurt so others wouldn't have to be uncomfortable. I pulled out my phone and opened the Reddit app. The anonymity was comforting. I typed out the whole story, the frustration, the betrayal, the unfairness. I hit post and felt a strange mix of relief and vulnerability. A few hours later, notifications started rolling in. People were commenting, sharing their own stories of family drama, broken trust, and standing up for themselves. Some told me I was right to be angry. Others urged patience and forgiveness, but mostly they listened. That felt good. The next few days passed in a blur. Tom and his girlfriend came over again, but this time I barely spoke to them. Their kid ran around, yelling and breaking things as usual, and no one seemed to care. I caught Mom watching me with a worried look, but I stayed quiet. One afternoon, Tom's girlfriend accidentally knocked over a glass of water near my desk. I didn't say anything, just moved my laptop away. The tension in the room was thick enough to cut with a knife. I started thinking about my options. I was tired of feeling powerless. If no one else was going to stand up for me, I had to do it myself. So I drafted a message to Tom. Look, I want to be fair. I know you're struggling, but that switch cost me $300. I want you to pay me back, even if it takes time. It's only right. I hesitated, then hit send. Minutes later, his reply came. You're crazy. You want me to pay you? You don't understand how hard things are. That was it. No apology, no willingness to make things right. I felt the anger rise again, but this time I channeled it into something else. I started saving every penny from my part-time job, cutting back on everything, determined to buy a new switch myself. Weeks passed and the situation didn't improve. Family gatherings became strained. Mom walked on eggshells around me, while Tom acted like nothing was wrong. One evening, I overheard Mom on the phone with a relative, her voice low and tired. He's my son, she said. I just want him to be happy. I closed the door quietly, the bitterness rising in my chest. What about me? Was I not her child? Did my feelings, my hard work, my sacrifices mean nothing? That night, I wrote more on Reddit, pouring my heart out about feeling overlooked, about the unfairness of family, about the pain of watching the people you love choose others over you. The responses poured in. People shared advice, empathy, and encouragement. Some suggested confronting Mom directly. Others talked about setting boundaries. Their words gave me strength. One afternoon, I decided to talk to Mom. We sat in the living room, the tension between us almost physical. Mom, I started, voice shaking. I know you love Tom, but I feel like you're not on my side. Like my feelings don't matter. She looked away, then back at me, tears glistening. I'm sorry, she whispered. I didn't mean to make you feel that way. I just want fairness, I said. I want to be treated like I matter. She nodded slowly. We'll figure this out, she said. For the first time in a long time, I felt a flicker of hope. But the road ahead was far from easy. Tom still didn't offer to pay me back. The kids still threw tantrums and broke things. Yet I kept saving, kept fighting, kept standing up. Because finally, I was putting myself first. The weeks dragged on, but something inside me had changed. For the first time, I stopped pretending to be okay. I stopped brushing things off for everyone else's comfort. My silence wasn't kindness anymore, it was suffocating. And I was done letting everyone walk all over me. Tom still came around like nothing happened. Still let his kid tear through the house like a tornado, laughing when he broke things and saying, boys will be boys. And Mom, well, she kept making excuses. One night, she brought home takeout for everyone, sat across from me at the kitchen table, and gave me a soft smile. You're quiet tonight, she said. I just nodded. What's on your mind? She pressed. I put my fork down, staring at her. My hands shook a little, but my voice was steady. I just can't believe you'd rather make excuses for him than hold him accountable. You don't even see how unfair this is. Do you even see me at all? Her eyes widened, and for the first time, she didn't have an answer. I stood up and left the table. That night, I withdrew everything I'd saved so far and ordered myself a brand new Nintendo Switch. Paid for entirely with my own money. Again, when it arrived a few days later, I opened the box in my room and just cried. Not because I was happy to have another one, but because I realized how alone I really was. Because nobody, not Mom, not Tom, had made this right for me. I had to make it right myself. 2 weeks later was Mom's birthday. Tom and his girlfriend came over with the kid, who immediately started running around and screaming. I sat on the couch, holding my new Switch close to my chest, watching them. At one point, the kid ran toward me, his sticky fingers outstretched, and for the first time I stood up. No, I said firmly, stepping back. You're not touching this. One ever. The room went quiet. Tom glared at me. What's your problem? He's just a kid, he said. I glared right back. No, he's your kid. And you don't even try to teach him how to respect other people's things. That's your problem, not mine. Tom's face turned red. But for once, Mom didn't step in to scold me. She just looked down at her hands, silent. Later that night, as I was cleaning up the kitchen, Mom came in. You were really hard on him, she said quietly. I put the dishes down and looked her in the eyes. No, I was honest. And I'm done letting you guilt me into silence. She opened her mouth to respond, then closed it again. And for the first time in my life, she nodded. You're right, she admitted. Since then, things haven't magically gotten better. Tom still doesn't talk to me much. His girlfriend avoids eye contact. Mom walks on eggshells. But I don't feel invisible anymore. I stood up for myself. And even though it hurt, even though it meant people were angry with me, it felt like a weight lifted off my chest. I still wish things were different. I still wish my family loved me enough to do the right thing without me having to beg. But I'm learning that sometimes the only person who can really fight for you is you. And as for the Switch, it sits on my desk now, safe in its case. Not because it's worth $300, but because it reminds me of the day I decided to stop being invisible. So tell me, Reddit AITA,